Welcome to this video about what EBSA is and what causes it. Part 3 of 3. A cycle of avoidance. EBSA typically starts when a pupil's feelings of stress exceed those of available support. The risks of a pupil developing EBSA are greater than the resilience factors in their life. The pull factors that encourage their non-attendance overcome the push factors that promote their attendance. The immediate reduction in anxiety that results from not attending school can reinforce their thoughts to avoid school. This then increases the anxious feelings about school and in turn the school avoidance. Therefore, if not addressed, anxious feelings about school can become entrenched in a cycle of avoidance. Functions for EBSA. There is no single cause of EBSA. There are many possible factors. Research suggests, however, that there are 4 key reasons for school avoidance. These factors can be categorized as negatively reinforcing, things they want to avoid, or positively reinforcing, things they want to gain. Negatively reinforcing functions. Function 1. The pupil wants to avoid things at school that make them feel anxious. Function 2. The pupil wants to avoid difficult social situations or to avoid being evaluated and judged by adults or peers. Positively reinforcing functions. Function 3. The pupil wants to gain attention from parents or caregivers and/or other family members. Function 4. The pupil wants to gain tangible rewards that they can access outside of school. Functions are often interlinked and complex. A pupil may present with a combination of these functions. Their influence may also change over time. For example, a pupil may initially avoid school because they are experiencing anxiety about their peer group or about classroom transitions, entry into school, speaking or reading aloud in class, eating around others, etc. These situations may involve social pressures, academic demands, and other elements of the school environment, for example, lunch and break times, assemblies, etc. The pupil may not necessarily view school as negative. For example, the function of gaining attention from parents or caregivers may be associated with separation anxiety with no specific anxieties about school. Once at home, they may also discover that being with family members or playing computer games by themselves, for example, is more pleasant than being at school. Fears about school may then increase alongside this. Pupil factors. There are some factors which may be associated with pupil vulnerability to develop EBSA. These risk factors are not necessarily causes, but are worth consideration. For an individual pupil, some factors to consider include a reluctance to interact with others, fear of failure, poor self-confidence, significant physical illness, special educational needs or disabilities, SEND, separation anxiety from a parent or carer, at point of transition to the new school or setting. These types of factors may be balanced against individual resilience factors, for example, a high self-esteem, abilities and talents, friends, etc., and other protective factors in their lives. Let's now consider other factors that are environmental, contextual, and not within child. Family factors. Some possible family factors include high levels of family stress and conflict, dysfunctional family interactions, parents with physical or mental health conditions, parents who have limited capacity to care adequately for their children, loss and bereavement, separation, divorce, and other changes in the family dynamic, young carers, parents with an overprotective parenting style, emotional neglect, harsh or heavily disciplinary approaches, parents with a history of difficult interactions with professionals, living in unsafe neighbourhoods, and family history of school attendance problems. School factors. Some possible school factors include bullying. Note, this is the most common. Ineffective behaviour management approaches, for example, too lenient, inconsistent, unfair, disproportionately punitive, etc. Limited range of available or accessible extracurricular activities. Poor safety in the school, for example, regular incidents where pupils are hurt. Dangerous and stressful school journeys, for example on the bus. High levels of competitiveness within the school culture. Poor pastoral care systems. Lack of differentiation and personalisation in lessons. Lessons that are routinely boring. Lessons with tasks that are regularly unachievable. Frequent communications about academic pressures. Lack of inclusive community feeling. Impacts of EBSA. The impacts of EBSA can be far-reaching. If left unaddressed, EBSA can lead to both short-term and longer-term consequences. Short-term problems during periods of school avoidance may include pupil anxiety and depression, family conflict and distress, poor academic progress and gaps in learning, financial difficulties for the family, for example, the impact on employment if adult supervision is required, conflict between parents, carers and professionals. Longer-term outcomes for young people who display EBSA may include less social opportunities, adult mental health issues, and limited employment opportunities, and future economic hardship. This is the end of this video. You can view more videos on this channel in the EBSA Essentials series.